Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever edition of the Man Scout Jake Manning Fireside Chat. I am joined by my good friends Arik and Darin Corbin. Guys, how are we doing today?
I wish we had a fire.
Well, see, that was what I was told when I announced the name of the show. Like, I need a fire, but I don't think the Ramada Inn here in the Des Moines airport location would appreciate a fire. But you had 3 fire crotches, so I guess that counts.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Great.
Doing great.
First of all, I must apologize, guys. I got a feeling these shows is the first one, so I don't know how this is going to go.
Yeah. We're
So
guinea pigs.
I'm already amped up. I've already taken an alpha brain, a fat burner. I'm already checked
He's got a coffee thing.
I got coffee too, so bright lights on. I'm freaking out.
It's 1:47 in the AM.
Yes.
Central Standard Time?
Yeah, Central.
Yes, because we just got the wrestling revolver.
Perfect time for a coffee.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would be up all night.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
It would be worthless.
I'm going to pass out when the interview's done.
Yes. So I don't know how this is going to go. This interview may be more about me than it is about you. So very early Mark Maron-ish, but we'll see how it lays out. But we're going to try and do this at Bar Wrestling in Los Angeles, which I believe is where you wrestled in LA for the first time, if I remember your Twitter account saying.
It had been a few years. I did I did a show for Championship Wrestling from Hollywood like a while ago, but it was my first time in LA and second time in California but it's been years. Literally I think 5.5. Mm-hmm. So it was super fun, and I'd wanted to be at Bar for a while. So that was it was a super fun experience.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast for all of us. But of course, Mr. Wrestling Society X over here.
Where are the explosions of pyro?
I used to tell every waitress that he was on MTV.
See, that was going to be my next question. I was just like, how many times a day does somebody come up to you and be like, aren't you in Wrestling Society X?
So the truthful answer about how often that happens.
You don't have to give the truthful answer. You can give a lie if you want.
It happens all the time.
There we go.
I see it.
But if we were to cut and then shoot from this angle, and I did tell you the truth,
Please.
never.
Never, not once.
I have never, one time ever, been recognized as, are you the guy from Wrestling Society X? However,
Okay.
as the wise ass said, during that time frame, we would be on the road at dinner.
Yeah.
Or not even at dinner, we would just be in a gas station. And I write CID on all my credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So when I pay for something, he would interject, don't you know he's from MTV? He was on Wrestling Society X.
Well, in comic world, that would be a credit. You could, if you were a headlining comic, you could say, as seen on MTV. And then someone like me, who would be like an MC, would be like, you've seen this gentleman on MTV, please welcome. And that should be part of it.
I love doing it at Perkins. That was my favorite, because it would be
Why at Perkins?
Because it was always late and they didn't care about anything, and I would always, it'd always be one of the things where it's we go in there and it's what's bringing you guys into town today? And it's well,
you wouldn't believe us if we told you.
We're pro wrestlers. And she's oh, you guys are pro wrestlers? Are any of you famous? This guy was on MTV.
Mind you, Perkins, A, we're from the Midwest, B, Perkins, because it was before Denny's and pro wrestling became a thing.
Yeah.
Is it a thing?
It's a little
feel
bit.
like it's become a thing where...
Because if I lived in the Midwest, I'd go to Perkins all the time.
Sure.
That's my preferred.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the trend has become, minus as of late with Cracker Barrel, which we also
love Cracker Barrel.
We've all been on the Cracker Barrel.
Of course.
Train.
Oh, yeah.
It's become popular.
But before the does our hotel room have a gym and is there a Denny's nearby? As guys from the Midwest, we went to Perkins.
Yeah.
Because at Perkins, generally speaking, it's open 24/7.
Yeah. And I took Caleb Conley to a Perkins.
What the hell is this?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. What do you mean a fucking muffin? Can I get some broccoli with this?
So that being said, flip side, the first couple of times we traveled to Pennsylvania together, after Chikara shows, we would end up at what they call Friendlies.
I've seen those pop up a little bit more.
It's essentially the same thing as a Perkins, but with self-serve ice cream.
Oh,
So
okay. I've been curious, and now that you told me, I'm could care less.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, oh, it is.
But with ice cream.
But with
Is soft serve the same thing as ice cream?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but like the joy is you get to make your own cone and your own bowl, right?
I'm not leaving a tip for making my own ice cream.
Well, you were not friendly at Friendly's. This is also a good one too, because friend here almost got in trouble for punching one of our colleagues that was there, but
Was it Pineapple Angel?
It was totally pineapple.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Hydra.
And the best part about it, so like we're all sitting at a table, it's like 12, like everybody. He got up, whatever you did.
This is the second time that this happened to me.
okay.
Oh, well, this is the one
Second
I was.
time you've punched somebody at Friendly's?
I did the name alone is perfect. But
Yeah,
this is one I
if you're gonna
for.
get in a fight at a Friendly's.
So like walks by our buddy and does this one, like clearly misses, and the
yeah,
manager,
he has a lot of fun with that. Like,
Mind you, old boy sold this at the dinner table.
Yeah.
Back out of the chair onto the floor. Huge commotion.
was this pineapple?
Yes.
Because I
And
thought
we also did it at what's the buffet restaurant?
Golden Corral.
We did it at a Golden Corral with Josh Abercrombie.
that one I remember.
That wasn't me.
Because I thought he did the delayed sell on it. Because I thought you hit him. The manager came over and he's like, "Did you just hit this guy?"
Yeah.
And
he was like, yeah.
because he was like, "Did you just hit this young man?" He's like,
Yeah.
like, and so like it was that. He's like, "We do not do that in this establishment."
Please tell me because it's a Friendly's.
High spot, he got free ice cream. Mm-hmm. Because I punched him in the mouth.
But you're also on the same table.
I was sitting next to him.
Okay.
Next to him, yeah.
But like when the waitress came around to make the, mind you, this was like a decade ago.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm kind of old. But like we're like right next to each other, and like when the waitress came, of course we played into it. Like she made a commotion about it, like what's going on? The manager, blah blah blah. We're okay. We'll be fine. When we came around for the orders, I was like, you get to go last.
Oh yeah, it was just
And everybody was kind of course, we're like with Bryce and all these. Everybody handed up a little bit, like.
All of a sudden, Friendly's turned into that restaurant where they shit on you in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like whatever that place is called.
We have one of those in Minneapolis. It's called Dick's. Dick's Last Resort.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's like Hooters, but flipped.
Yeah.
Like they're mean to you.
Like they come to the table and like, what do you want, Dick?
Yeah.
Can I help you?
Are the girls on the yellow shorts just like Hooters?
I've never been.
Yeah,
never.
Honestly, every time I've ever seen like footage of the restaurant, it's always been like a male server or something like that too. And so
I was just
like,
saying, it's just a bunch of women running around being mean to you.
I
Like, it
think-
seems like there'd be a market for that.
I think
right?
it's 50-50. Well,
yeah, I think so.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
But I think the one you were thinking of is Wiener Circle in Chicago.
Oh, that's in Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's one
I
of
mean,
those.
and the one there, she's like on fire with it. She
Very
is so
demanding.
yeah, she was great with that, which I think is like the best way to blow off steam if you have to work like a retail or food service job. Like at least the one where you can just be a complete dick to somebody.
For the server, not for the people getting
No,
it.
no, yeah.
Yeah.
But like they willingly come there, so that's the deal. You know what you're in for.
I completely forgot what you asked.
I
don't know how we got here.
Wrestling Society X. And about how
Holy
you have
shit.
how you have a Wikipedia page, but neither of us do.
Oh, well, you can make your own.
Oh, I had one, and then Wikipedia took it away.
Oh.
Yeah.
I actually want.
I didn't realize they could do that.
What a punch in the gut that like
Yeah.
Man Scout doesn't get a Wikipedia page,
Or had one.
but the tent does.
Fucking don't even start about that tent. He tried to get in this fucking thing, but
There's no space for a tent.
there's no space.
Yeah.
No space.
I always wanted to do Wikipedia to like mess with things, but then I know you got to get like a credential and certified or something like that where it has to be you, like your sources are verified or whatever.
Yeah.
But I slowly wanted to add stuff in just to see if people would do that and then like add it on to other people. Yeah, what?
It's all good.
I got it. Two non-Wikipedia guys got it.
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Because like
Of all the things to brag about,
I don't
have a
know.
Wikipedia page.
You know, listen, I'm hot about it. I had one, and then the internet's like, oh, we never need to know any information about this guy ever again, and deleted it. I had one.
I mean, when you put it like that, it's kind of stiff.
yeah.
Yeah, that's real fucking stuff. I mean, if you want to punch me again, I'll take a fucking bump over here. Maybe get some free ice to come out of the deal.
We need a server.
We need a friendlies, yeah.
But I mean, this isn't the only TV star that's sitting on this couch.
What have you done?
Oh, no, this man over here, going all the way to Portland.
Yeah. No, I've had some fun for like when I did Paragon, short-lived, and Dub C, like West Coast. Those are fun. Those are like my first.
Well, tell me how this all
This
came
would be a
to
great Caleb cameo.
Oh yeah, because this is actually where I got to get very familiar with Caleb.
Like how did they get up with you? Like what was the you? That's what we want you to come here.
Well, a long time ago, this was my train of thought.
Because I get Caleb. He looks good in a pair of trunks.
Mm-hmm.
He's all pretty. He's
a very attractive gentleman.
He's
I
very
look
attractive.
like an upside down
and
cone.
Nobody's ever signed him to wrestle anywhere, so he's available.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I thought he
was signed for Impact for a while.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He was there. They never used him.
Yeah.
They use Suicide though a lot.
That's true.
Oh yeah? How did Caleb do a suicide?
He did great. He still does it to this day.
Oh, we're gonna have to like do bleeps and stuff? Who's editing?
I am.
Okay.
Perfect. He'll know what to do.
Kayfabe.
Yeah, it was like actually it was a long time ago. Let's see, I was 22, I think, is when I was sending out emails all the time, trying to get whatever.
You're a hand gesture, you like.
Dude, I've had coffee. I hug my hands a lot.
Listen, I'm already jacked up as well. I get it.
Maybe I'll just do.
We're on the same wavelength.
Here, I'll do this.
As the interview continues, like the caffeine and the coffee's gonna hit you guys.
Yeah.
And the PBRs are just.
Here, I'll do this so it keeps my hands like.
You do whatever you want. I just like busting balls.
I know. So, but anyway.
We've been on the road together for too long.
Oh
really.
fuck yeah. But anyway, like what happened was I would hit up all sorts of places and send like emails, and originally they were an AWA affiliate, and we had an AWA affiliate in Minnesota, and I knew to use the name you had to pay so much money, so I was like, oh, they must have, like, and he knows this, so this is what
Everybody's getting worked.
Yeah. So I was like, I will hit up this list of AWA
I used to do
affiliates.
that.
Caffeine's really hitting you up.
Oh, it really did. It really did at a certain pace.
This is gonna be so fun at 2 a.m. It's gonna be great.
It is 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's not so much caffeine. It's the fat bird.
Oh, you weren't kidding.
Oh, I was not kidding.
Oh, fuck. All
yeah.
right.
So, I mean, I wanted to
As
mention.
I glanced over and I was like, man, you are really going.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm a steady hand. Steady hand.
And so because
I did the same exact thing with NWA affiliates.
Yes.
As soon as I wrestled for NWA No Limits, I'm like, I'll try all these other NWA affiliates.
Is that when we first met? NWA No Limits?
Well, that's another question.
Okay. Time out.
Perfect.
Then we'll get back to that.
And
Back
what
to you.
and what happened was he hit me up, and I sent a video that a fan had made, and it had me falling backwards over a chair, like backing up from somebody, and I tipped over a chair and did an ass over tea kettle type, like Three Stooges.
You're like, hey, I can do this anytime you want.
So he got back to me, like out of everything in the video, he gets back to me and goes, I love the part where you fell over the chair. I need that on my show. We do comedy out here. And I was like, perfect, I'm in.
Of all the things to be requested for,
Yeah.
You want me to do what?
I get told not to do comedy.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, that's like
that's all I want to do now.
Yes, and like so we started talking. We were trying to find a time to come out, and like I've been going out off and on since I think it was 2008. This is how long I've been going out temporarily or sporadically for West Coast. But one of his trainees, when they brought it up, one of the trainees was like, he goes, I'm bringing in this guy, like he wrestled for Chikara, and he does like slow motion, I guess, and one of his trainees was like, is that Darin Corbin? And he was like, okay, so now my trainee knows you, so now we gotta bring you out.
And that's what I always tell people. It's always that you send the email, and you just hope that those people, in the locker room, we're all checking our phones, we're all checking the emails. The person that's in control is seeing that, or even like a tweet, like the gym selfies, like, oh, I'm jacked now. It's like, oh, you see Man Scout Manning? Oh, we were just happened to want to be booking somebody that day. And that's how it always happens. Is I've seen this guy, hey, check this out. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm booking this tomorrow. So.
And it worked, and like, so I did like a couple shows for him. Did the chair spot there, did slow motion out there.
That's why you paid to be
Exactly,
there,
that's why I was
so
brought
you
out
better
to
do
there.
it.
Speaking of you doing things that a promoter asked you to do, when you're done with this, I want to circle around to something.
Okay.
We got a list. We'll add it right here.
Well, I want to help. I'm a team player.
Please.
Is this gonna be embarrassing for me?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. All right. So anyway, but yeah, so I was off and on with them.
This is your trailer.
And then he started. He also did Paragon, and so that's how I got connected out there. And I was most recently out there just doing a couple things for when they were doing TV on like PDX. And I've always had fun because like I've met up with, got to know Gangrel really well out there and D'Lo Brown. So like Matt Stryker, a lot of those guys would help me, which was awesome. And
yeah,
because
they always had different agents there. Like
yes.
you'd have guys that like D'Lo Brown who'd obviously worked at Impact, other people like they had good agents laying out the matches.
And I feel that's where
Is that what you think of when you think of D'Lo? He worked at Impact.
That's not what I think of, but
I recognize.
But he's probably been an agent longer than he's been wrestling now.
Oh,
yeah.
Think about it. How long he's been an agent? Almost as long as he's been wrestling.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you'd be pretty close.
But like when I think of D'Lo, I'm like chest protector, frog splash.
Well,
like,
yeah, everyone. I'm thinking like the lowdown when he was when he was teaming with the one guy with the headbanger.
Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz.
Yeah.
It was a lowdown,
Yeah,
and they wore windbreaker pants. Mm-hmm. I think wasn't Tiger Ali Singh like
for a while, and then he was gone, and then it was just them. But
yeah, I fucking dug the shit out of it.
Actually, my brother, I got him 1 full month off of Etsy. Funny how this worked. I got him his birthday month of metal, like WWF metal, and
on purpose.
Yeah, because I got him the September like 2000 or whatever it was. Man, Lowdown is predominantly featured on every episode of that. They were like building that up, and he was like, and so like he was doing play-by-play for me and talking about it. He goes, he's like, I got through the entire month of September, and I feel like they were gearing up Lowdown for like a tag team run, and I'm really bummed that I don't get to see it play out. And I was like, as we all are.
Another thing about Lowdown is when I actually first started wrestling, I thought my wrestling gear was going to be windbreaker pants, just like Lowdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Like that was the mindset.
That was the mindset.
Oh man.
Like I want to just go windbreaker pants like those guys.
Yeah.
And wrestle.
Plus it looks comfy.
Yeah, it was comfy, and like I didn't know if I would ever be a trunks guy, and then when you go trunks, you don't go back.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately had to go to what I got now because it fits with the character.
Wait, what's wrong with what you wear now?
It's a lot of layers.
Okay.
Ideally, what I would like to wrestle in,
probably
would be just if I didn't have to wear the shorts. Like I like the one-piece singlet with no legs on it.
Very Andre style.
Yeah.
Lots of meat in the middle.
More like I'm thinking more like Action Mike Jackson type, singlet thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's so fucking comfy because just my balls are just like hanging there. They're held up by my shoulders. My shoulder straps hold up my balls, and they're kind of high and tight, but they're not too tight. There's enough flexibility, but it's always revolting. Like I used to have a singlet that had my hand signal.
Okay.
Right there, on the dick, and unfortunately, that's like all the.
Do we say dick or do we say cock?
Dick.
Dick.
Cock, dick.
In the nether regions.
You can say
Penis.
dick. Maybe I'll say cock.
Okay, yeah.
The genitals.
Yeah, it was right there, and that's where it's hanging, and like all of the.
Your hand was always like distorted.
Yeah, and all the matches that people come up and tell me, "Oh, I saw a match with you online." I'm like, "Which one?" And it's usually one where I'm wearing that shit.
And you're like, I don't watch it.
That's why I had to go back on my YouTube page.
Defamation of character. Get rid of it.
No, I didn't do that. But I was like, all right, I need to put some stuff out there where I actually look decent. So I started releasing all these free matches just to clutter it up.
And here we are now.
Yeah.
Huh.
I still have a Wikipedia page, but I'm just saying, like...
It would be great.
For what it's worth, to both of you, I've never received an email or a booking or any kind of anything that was like, so I saw your Wikipedia page.
No, it's good for interviews, though.
I mean, okay.
I was gonna say it would be pretty great if like the singlet that you had with the hand signal had a Wikipedia page, because that would be like when I had my light up scrolling.
Anything made out of canvas or spandex has a Wikipedia page, but I don't.
Well, so.
God, I don't know if I want to.
This is a great story, especially considering the way that it all worked out, and now he still has a job.
Oh, I love where this is going on.
Yes. Okay, so I'm sorry. WCCO, what is it? WC?
West Coast Wrestling Connection, WCWC.
WCWC reached out to Corbin, and the conversation, the booking, part of that was, oh, you do the thing, the comedic, backwards over the chair. Love it. Please come to Portland, Oregon, to Portland, and do that. Rewind, maybe long enough to forget, and the promoters in Germany for WXW reach out to Darin Corbin.
Okay.
I'm coming over. He's coming over, and they're like, "Please come wrestle for us." The promoter specifically says to him, "We would love it if you would do the slow motion thing." Mm-hmm. So, as a good professional who was trained by another good professional, he was more than happy to oblige. Mm-hmm. However, Fit Finlay was on the show.
Oh, I'm glad we got the story here.
Yeah. So, promoter A asks Corbin to do slow motion. Corbin does what the promoter asks. B, the crowd fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, C, when the match is over, like all professional wrestlers do for, I don't want to say all, but a lot of professional wrestlers do when there's a veteran of a higher status also on the card in the locker room. We simply approach them and we kindly ask, "Excuse me?"
I didn't even get this chance.
Did you happen to see any of my match?
Oh, he did.
And if so, please, do you have any feedback, advice?
Didn't even get to ask. He found me.
I was gonna say,
or anything.
I heard the story hit you not asking. That's how I heard the story.
But that's like that's the norm.
Yeah.
You approach the senior talent in the locker room.
At least until I heard this story the first time.
And you ask for some advice. You ask for some kind of feedback. You're like, we're always trying to learn.
A chance to grow.
Sure, certainly. However, this was not the case for old Corbin here with Fit Finlay.
I got back through the curtain after doing it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I got."
I can't stress enough that the crowd in Germany ate it the fuck up. Like, they could not get enough of it.
Like slow pounding on the mat, like playing
this is like all of it. They fucking loved it.
Every single person was doing the slow motion. The promoter bought
commentary, because you were on commentary with Marty Scurll.
I don't remember that.
I thought you were on.
I trust you.
Yeah, but
promoter paid all this money for you to come to Germany, hotels, visas, all of this,
and then
doing the right thing.
I get through the curtain. Finlay already has my opponent, and he's just kind of very stern and he waves me over, and I come over and I was like, yeah, and he's like, "I want you to know that was the most embarrassing thing I've seen in my 30-year career." And I was like, "Oh, well," I jokingly said after the knife cut me, in my mind, I told Cam, and I was like, first thing I said, I was like, "Man, Finlay doesn't watch YouTube at all."
Is that your reply?
So that's what he said to me.
I knew I shouldn't say anything. And then, that weird moment where they ask you a question, but you're not sure if it's hypothetical or not. Mm-hmm. So he goes, "Why did you decide to do that?" And he's like, "Why would you decide to do something like that?" And I thought that was a statement rather than a question. And so I didn't say anything. He's like, "I'm asking you." And I was like, it's something I do. The promoter asked me to do slow motion here. And in defense, they came over and they're like, this is what he does in the States.
Yeah, they came to bat for him. They were they had his,
And so but Finlay was just
but Finlay had a knife against his throat.
Yeah.
So
Finlay was not having it, and basically told me.
What was it called back then? The shillelagh?
He had the shillelagh, yeah.
So
he was basically his WWE promo picture. That's what you saw coming through the curtain.
Much.
But with more personality, there was anger behind it.
In general, just being man, Finlay thinks I'm the most embarrassing thing he's ever seen in pro wrestling. So I was this is the only redeeming thing about it.
For days after that, while we continued the tour, "You're worse than the midget that lives under the ring."
I didn't relate to that, but that would be.
Yeah, that was a thing that Finlay and Swoggle did for a while.
Yeah.
Small person under the ring. Not a big deal. This guy wrestling in slow motion? Worst thing ever.
What if he has a list that he carries around? Most embarrassing things ever.
just
And at
goes
the top of it was midget lives underneath the ring, sees that, and like, well, time to redo this list.
I thought this was bad, but no. But yeah, he was like, I've made a career, I've made money, supported a family, bought houses.
He fucking hated you.
And he was like, and you went out and did that and made a mockery of everything that I've made. And I was like, oh boy.
Oof.
So I slowly...
It's turned dark.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
I was like, well, I went to Germany to find out I fucking suck.
Sometimes you have to leave the nest to find out that you're the shits.
That you're the shits. The only redeeming thing about this is I go to the merch table and like, I have my stuff, so I'm setting out my stuff and I'm just like...
He was so fucking like dejected.
Yeah.
And like Fitz words fucking cut it deep.
Like, what do you say?
You know?
Like
the viewer may not care or what have you, but like for those of us that do this, like the guys that came before us, as terrible and dark and as some of the shit is about what we do, like those guys that paved the way, like we appreciate that. So you want their feedback. Mm-hmm. And like at the end of the day, we're doing this because we fucking love wrestling. We love everything about what this is and was before we got here.
Yeah.
So to have him have an opportunity to ask somebody that at some point or another be like, you're fucking terrible! Like, that hurts. It hurts.
It sucks. It really
30 years, you're the worst.
Well,
so,
he hadn't seen the dick flip at that time, so
No.
you had a little while ago.
I don't know if
You're probably down to like a 2 or a 3 by now.
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know.
Might still be up there.
Might still be number 1.
I would
Next time we see
sell
Fit,
I would
alas.
sell for a dick far before I'd sell for anything in slow motion.
Bullshit. But anyway, like I went to the table, I set my stuff out, and I was just like, I must have looked like the most miserable. Like, I'm just like, here's my stuff. You know, just like staring up.
You want a picture?
Yeah. And luckily, like a group of people came up to me and like
Leaned
over the table.
That,
and were like,
that fixes everything.
Kind of.
and they were
And
like,
always, every time.
we have been waiting to see you do slow
Oh, the
motion.
Germans on Twitter are going to murder you.
That's
right now.
okay. I apologize for the accent. But they're like, since June 2000.
You're
June
doing it to
20
a German. It's okay.
Perfect.
I'll
I'm
allow
a quarter German, so that's why it's only a quarter good.
Okay.
But yeah, they were like, we've been waiting since we saw you do it in 2007 in Hellertown. We wanted to see you do slow motion. And I sold every t-shirt I had at WXW.
It was crazy, too. So like, take that, Fit. Sold all the merch.
I was like, I'm going to go buy a house. But yeah, so like, that was one of my...
It was a serious roller coaster.
Oh,
like,
my God.
like it was a roller coaster for me because I was there, I was privy to it all, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know? So like for me being a bystander to it all, like I was on the ride and I got to see it and I'm like in my head like, this is his first like international exposure, this, that, and the other. Like, oh my god, I'm so glad that he's murdering it at the table right now because fuck, that was so
He's
brutal.
about to murder himself.
Yeah. The other thing too, which was another like, was we were supposed to, if I remember correctly, we were supposed to on that night win the tag belts, right? Or wrestle the tag champions.
So we were supposed to do a tag with, I want to say, I
don't even know.
I don't remember what they were called, but like Tommy End and his
Sumerian Death Squad.
Those guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
On night 1, but something got weird, so we ended up doing singles. Fit Finlay hated your fucking whole existence.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, we ended up wrestling them the next night anyway.
Yeah, what it was supposed to be is we were supposed to wrestle the tag champions night 1 and then go to night 2 against Tommy End and his partner. And so the logic was, what happened is the one half of the tag champions didn't show up.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really wish that motherfucker would have been here so I didn't get my ass.
He was so mad at the guy that didn't show up
I've still never met
because Fit Finlay fucking shoot his ass. Yeah, whoever you are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so.
And then we went out and drank with Fit Finlay. And
No, you did. I went back to the hotel because I felt like a piece of shit.
when I said we, I didn't.
There's no we there. That's just an I.
No, I went back to the hotel and I was like, I've had enough.
Like, yeah.
It's like I and then he. Those are
But I wasn't alone. I was with Marty Skrull and like.
Oh, that's the we you were.
Yeah. I meant like
we.
we as in the boys that went out to.
Not
train.
everyone.
See,
literally
you
got
were
the-
hand gesturing toward. That's why we leave the hand gestures to us because you were hand gesturing we, but it was more like we.
Yeah.
So
I went back to the hotel to wallow in self-pity.
And like
with all your merch money, yeah.
he just laid in what do they call in German? Pounds, francs,
Oh yeah, I don't know.
something. He laid in his hostel bed with all of his German money.
Yeah.
But like, so of course, me being me and knowing you, I wanted to bring a story back after the bar. While we're out, I tried to press Fit about like, hey, how about the slow motion guy?
Yeah.
Tell me about the slow, and he just wouldn't. He was just like, wouldn't say a word.
Thanks, Cam.
That mad. He's not even gonna like give you another show.
I don't know.
Because sometimes those old timers they like that have that show of just being mad.
Sure, but I think
if they're that mad.
I think he just was over it. I think like he let it all out on him, and like I'm trying to like push buttons and have fun. Like, hey Fit, can I get you another drink? Also, how about that fucking slow motion guy? And he was just like, not having it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried because I was like,
Of course
yo
you
man,
tried.
Fit got hammered at the bar. And, like I asked him about you. We tried. Yeah. Sorry.
Man.
But don't you think like everything creative and cool like gets that type of response?
Of course.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like as a guy that like experiments a lot and will probably be experimenting more over the next couple months.
I think that what we do today, the guys from yesterday are mad about, and the guys from yesterday, they tried something that the guys before them, and trickle down and so on and so forth. Like, do you think that fucking dudes back then were like, it's cool, Vader's doing a moonsault, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck no.
No.
Terry Funk just gave so-and-so a pile driver on the announce table. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that everything is everything within wrestling, and that everything that we're doing today that the guys of yesterday don't like, in a couple more tomorrows, the guys of today are going to be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because what I hear, I can't remember who the old timer was. I think it was George Hackenschmidt or somebody like that thought that Harley Race was a spot monkey. Like one of those like old timey guys.
Can you imagine what the guys in WWE or even in Can you imagine what the guys in AWA thought of Marty and Sean?
Oh man.
Holy fuck!
The jobbers didn't know what to think because they fucked up every one of their double team moves.
Like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Except for Dennis Stamp. Dennis
Like
Stamp
when I
always
was a kid, at our house, hockey and baseball was a big deal.
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years, goalie pads are wider, they're thicker. It's harder for a fucking skater to score. You can't do this, you can't do that. Like, you can't fucking tackle the quarterback anymore. Like, everything changes. Everything's not what it used to be yesterday. Like, my car is currently made of plastic with an engine in under the hood. Everything's different tomorrow. Everything's different today than it was yesterday. And tomorrow, I'm going to need a new iPhone. Like, everything's changing forever, nonstop. And wrestling is one of those things.
But doesn't it always, like, the thing that, for lack of a better term, goes viral, the thing that you're about, the reason why that happens is there's equally enough people that hate it as like it.
Oh, sure.
Therefore, the comments push it together because you're getting it from both ends. Because if everybody's like I'm sure you've tried something.
If everybody loves it, it's going this direction.
Yeah.
But if some people are loving it while other people are hating it, it has nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
The hard thing for me was like when all those like clips started becoming the popular, and then other promotions started doing slow motion. I was like, I was too far behind. I just got fiddly to say I suck. And everyone's like, did you see what they did at PWG? And I was like, but I did it first. And
yeah, like how does that make you feel that you come up with something and then you see it somewhere else?
Well, I stole it. And he knows it.
So, years ago, when Corbin started training, we had our own building, our own venue, our own facility. And we trained there, we ran shows there, we watched tape there, there was gym equipment there, like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And when he started to express to me that he wanted to do more than just wrestle, he wanted to try to have like something else, like, hey, I have this trick in my pocket, like things of that nature. I was like, I've got so many tapes of so many things from so many different places. Please watch this Ebisan versus Kushinbo Kamen stuff. I had like a 40-minute compilation of just them doing their stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's where he got the slow motion thing.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing was it was never something I intended to do in a match. When I would start to get used to footwork, we did everything in slow motion so I could find out how everything reversed.
Okay.
And we just did it as like a and it actually the first time, because like a lot of people think that the first time I did it was at Chikara, but the first time I ever did it was at Candido Cup for like
you had to open mic that shit before you do it on the big show.
Yeah. So I did it for Candido Cup.
That was a great open mic night.
And the funny part is like it was like, the 4-on-4, but it was like split teams or something. So when Ryan and I were in there against each other, we did.
It was like North Star Express, half and half.
Yeah.
Thomaselli's, half and half. Like all of there were 4 teams, but the teams were cut in half and split.
Yeah. And
so it was very weird.
Yeah, it was all the teams that were eliminated from the first round of the Candido Cup. And it just, like, we did it as a way because you have to make contact before you can tag out, so we did slow motion, and it started getting, like, the holy shit.
Like, wrestling fans were fucking so about it from the get.
Yeah.
They were the chanting in slow motion, like, everybody was in on it.
And like, it's funny, like, if you watch the tape, because everyone is like...
Mind you, he really means tape.
Yeah, VHS. Because he's like...
I'm from that era as well, my friend.
People started chanting like, Candido, Candido. And I was like... And like, you see me go, really? Like, this is the most fucking over thing I've ever done here? Like... And then shortly after that, we did it with like the Olsons at Chikara.
No, you guys did it with the Olsons in Canada first, I think.
No, we did some fun stuff in Canada, but when we wrestled in Canada... And then we went to Chikara, and they were like, we heard you guys tore it down. Because the funny thing was in Canada, we met for the first time, and everyone had put us over. So everyone's like, dude, you're going to love the Olsons. You're going to love them. They're exactly like you. And people would say the same thing to them.
I miss Jimmy Olsen, by the way.
Yeah, we miss you. And when we bumped into each other, we were like, everyone says you're us. And like, that's how we like hit it off. And we had like a fun like match, and then we were like, we have to top this somehow. We have to think of something. And we were like, we did this slow motion thing one time. Mm-hmm. And so we did Hellertown and did the slow-mo. And then it would always happen at like the Gauntlet at King of Trios or Tag World.
Yeah.
And then that's how it grew.
What did you call it earlier? The losers round?
Losers 10 man tag.
Okay, losers.
Fair enough.
Losers round at tournament stuff.
Mm-hmm. So that's how it started. That's kind of... But yeah, I got it from Kigo, and like... I did tell him, like, I was like, dude, I got that from you. Like, I was like, I took slow motion. And he was like, royalties.
Please, justice.
Yes, justice.
Yeah.
So he did slow motion. It was me, him, and Waltman at King of Trios.
I need to air this one, too, because I got to set the record straight, because everyone gives me shit for it.
So he caught so much heat.
Waltman as in
X-Pac.
Yeah, let's be clear. The guy who hates my guts who shit on me on his podcast.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we'll talk about that.
Okay, maybe we will.
You did
He apologized, though.
Oh, really?
Very aggressively, though.
So...
I would rather him talk shit to me as opposed to apologize to me ever again.
Sean is super emotional. He's very emotional about wrestling.
Yeah, and also, too, I feel like part of the reason he had all those drug problems is because he feels too much. Like, everything around him, and, like, I'm very much the same way.
Okay.
Just taking in, and I think all of us are, like, since we're redheads, my mom always says that redheads feel more because everything affects us more. Like, we're getting a suntan under these fucking bright lights.
Oh, yeah.
They are very bright. They're very professional.
Feel more, and I just feel like
he's very... so pale right now.
So I feel like, in some level... Sean Waltman is a redhead himself, and he feels everything more. He can pick up on other people's energies and all this other stuff.
What I know about Sean is he really, really fucking loves wrestling.
Yeah. And like I said, he feels more, and that's why I took the drugs to dull that down, because it's too much.
I mean, I can't necessarily attest to that.
That's my impression, because that's what I did. with alcohol.
Okay,
is I
fair
felt
enough.
everything
Fair
too
enough.
much, and I feel like that's why he had.
Well, fuck, I'll stop offering you a drink. Jeez.
That's okay. You already threw one down my gullet earlier tonight, and I did
Well,
and I had a live microphone on my mouth, and I got another
Did
one.
you want to commentary?
I was like, hey, here's a White Claw. And he looked at me like, for me? And I was like, yeah, you take it.
And I took 2 sips, and then I'm like, "Oh, you want this back?" And he goes, "No." So then I'm like chugging a White Claw, which is my first White Claw ever.
Oh.
Yeah,
Got
never had
scratched.
one. So.
Number 2.
Well,
Right after I was like, I'll stop offering you drinks.
I'm such
after you
I'm
felt
such
that.
a dick offering alcohol.
Get out of here.
After I told you I had a problem, but you know,
I have a problem too. It's that we don't have these in the fridge. But like, Sean loves wrestling so much that, and like, please feel free to jump in. Like, I don't think that when these instances occur, they're from a negative place.
I think he just wants everybody to do so well.
Yes.
And when he doesn't
Yeah,
see
yeah.
people do well, he feels it too. Because I feel the same exact way. When
Yes,
I run ringside camera, at Queens
he
of Combat.
wants everyone to do amazing things, and when they don't, that's a bummer. But it's a fucking double bummer when we don't do amazing things with him, because then not only does he feel bad for us, but he's frustrated for himself.
Yeah, and that's why I don't feel bad about what he said about the match I had with him. And he talked shit
Like,
about
we actually were in a tag match with him
yeah.
last summer, where it was Waltman and I, it was X-Pac and I against Corbin and another local guy out of Minnesota, and at some point during the match, this other gentleman tried to feed for Sean in the wrong direction. So while Sean was in the ring selling in this direction, our other gentleman in our match was feeding for him in this direction.
He was on the apron. That was the other part too.
So it was like, it was unfixable. It was fucked up.
it. Yeah,
And Sean like was so upset.
yeah.
And I understand, I get it, but I don't think that the frustration was negative. I think it was simply like, we're all better than this, damn it.
Yeah, and that's what
Yeah.
I've picked up.
Like, he's the best. Like, I personally owe Sean and Jerry Lynn like so much.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jerry Lynn,
Jerry.
the only TV match I've ever had.
Hell yeah.
I did
I
one.
bet it was the best TV match you ever had.
Yeah, because it's the only one, obviously. But I appreciate you picking up on that.
That's
No,
like,
it was
my, that's
eight-
like my,
it was
that's
an
my
eight.
big thing these days. Like, how was your match tonight? It was the best fucking match that I had tonight. I say that to guys and they're like,
Well, again, he's not wrong.
what?
Say that again.
How was the 4-way I had tonight?
Yeah.
It was
That's
the best
4-way?
4-way I had on. It was, not only was it the best 4-way I had tonight, it was the best 4-way on the show.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
I was the best 7-way on the show. I'd have to say.
All of these statements, fact. Please contest this. I dare you.
I am not going to.
Can't fight it. But the one that we had, you're talking about the trios match that is with.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people came down really hard on Corbin because we did slow motion
And
while we were in the ring with Great Sasuke, Dick Togo, and Jinsei Shinzaki. Mind you, Jinsei doesn't really speak a lot of English.
Yeah.
Togo doesn't really speak a lot of English. Sasuke, kayfabes his English. So we're discussing some things about our match, and mind you, this was quite a while ago, and at this point, Corbin's a little timid. I think that's the right word.
Well, I mean,
Especially considering
He's shillelagh shy. That's what he is. I'd say gun shy.
This is before
this is
this.
before.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mind you, you know, Great Sasuke, Shinzaki, and Dick Togo. So, and of course,
and Sean.
and yes, Sean.
Yeah.
And me, I have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I just
2 of the 3 Wikipedia pages,
drew-
which was the name of your team, if I remember. Not.
Team Wikipedia page.
Yeah, 2 out of 3
Corbin.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, and Corbin.
And
We're going through it. We're talking about it. Like, I've paired off with Togo because I'm like, can I please wrestle with Togo? That'd be tight.
Yeah.
Because obviously we wanted to relive the entire 1, 2, 3 Kid Jinsei stuff from
Yeah.
WWE, WWF, whatever you want to call it back then.
1995.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Which, my favorite year.
The crowd chanted that when they got in the ring together. So I'm like, hey man, what do you want to do with Sasuke? And he's just like, so I like, no joke, was like, hey, I'm going to show him the slow motion stuff. Do you think it's a good idea? I know it's a good idea. I drag the phone out, I show Sasuke, and I'm like, maybe high spot. And Sasuke was like, fuck yes!
Yes, let's do.
Maybe he didn't say it like that.
Yeah.
But he was all about it.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back to the fucking second half of the match, and Sasuke setting the record straight. Sasuke.
So he's like, maybe slow motion. And I was like, oh no. Already did once. More beginning. He's like,
all of us. Again?
and he's like, no. Perfect. Must do. And I'm like,
Who the fuck are we
Yeah.
to say, I don't think so?
Goddamn, Hakushi wants this shit. Like, give it to him.
Like, who are we to say, I don't
There was
think
a-
so, great Sasuke? What do you know?
and there's
And
at
what's he
least-
gonna do? Pull out like a fake head like he did Bret Hart? Eric can like do, or else, you know.
there was at least like 3 times where we're like,
Yeah.
no, it's not gonna work. And like, I don't know. I think Sean forgot that it had been called because like he's yelling.
This segment of this interview where we're talking about Waltman is going to end up on the internet, and Waltman's going to hate us.
No, I mean,
Especially you.
well, I remember
Fucking
him.
slow motion.
I remember he's yelling at me out from the apron, going, "Corbin, quit dinking around."
That might have been me. But Sean was definitely unhappy about it.
Yeah. So, and I'm just going along with. You know,
I remember being on the apron going, Sean, Sasuke called this. Sasuke called this.
Yeah, and you know, like whatever, and it happens, and the next day, like everyone would come up to me and be like, "Slow motion twice, really?" And like I was like,
You got to be in the ring with Sasuke and you did slow motion? Twice?
So, you know, like I tried to explain it, I tried to do the best I could, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And like, I just was so shocked because I was like, what did you think I was like, no, Mr. Sasuke, I can't. I was in such a hard spot, like in that whole position, because I did want to do the slow motion first, because I knew that would be the biggest thing that I could do with Sasuke.
Yeah.
But like, and since
I was like, yo, where's that Jacob shit at? Let's tear it down, motherfucker.
and
This guy, fucking Fit Finlay's worst nightmare over here.
motherfucker. But yeah, so
I like to do it slow motion.
but I caught so much flack for that, and I think it's because the spot's called for me to start it and like put it back in, like start slow motion. And I think if Sasuke would have probably done it,
Like the trigger when he does slow motion is like he's the one that's like he makes it happen.
yeah.
So everyone just assumed that it was like you got to be in the ring with Sasuke, and you could have fucking like tried to do amazing things with great Sasuke, but you were like, let's do something in slow motion.
And like I said,
That'll be a gift.
in the beginning, yeah, that'd be great. Let's
I wish it
do
was.
something
I'm
in
just
slow
starting.
motion.
It's all just go like this.
Slow it down. No, the only one that was really funny though, like I'll share this because this is hilarious. Like
It's not funny.
fucking, it's hilarious. Like one of the guys that used to wrestle locally, like after he stopped wrestling. for
Oh,
whatever
don't even
re-
waste your breath. Don't put him over.
No, I'm not gonna put him on. I'm not gonna say his name, but like he was doing he started doing DVD reviews to just like on his YouTube,
Local 40 miler, do nothing
and like
guy.
does his King of Trios review, and it's like I think 12 minutes, and like 9 of it is like burying me about like how much of a piece of shit I am, and how I spit in the face of like how many indie workers would want to be in that spot, and I could have done so much fucking other stuff, and blah 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 blah, but yet I did slow motion and like all this stuff, and like basically like in so many words was just like Corbin's the biggest, fuck me, Corbin's the biggest piece of shit out there, like Kip, I know you were trained better, like I should apologize to you, I should apologize to Chikara.
I mean, for a lot of things, but
Yeah.
that too.
And I remember that, and I called him like right after that, like called him up on the phone, went to voicemail, and like
I don't fucking like talking on the phone.
no, and like it was funny because I think you were recording me talking on the phone, hoping that I would get him. And
He
I was
doesn't
like
like talking on the phone, but he likes recording people.
he
talking on the
he
phone.
likes this fucking
that's
the
weird
drama
part.
shit. So like, but yeah, and like, but that was like the funny one is like one of our like local guys,
A guy that at that point we were like, yo, he's our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out.
It'd be like Zane Riley doing a review of my match, like, what the fuck is Man's gonna do with a goddamn tank? Like, I drove you here, motherfucker. Like,
So that was some of the fun stuff. But it was Sasuke who wanted to do it twice.
I'll tell you what. If Sasuke straight up said to me, tonight, maybe we're gonna have the worst match ever, I would look him right in the fucking face and go, cool.
yeah, that's what. Anytime there's like a name, like you have to just kind of do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Sasuke saw it. I was like, oh,
Easy.
exactly.
Now, crazy enough, fast forward a decade, Sasuke's like, can I please take a bump on the apron? Can I do a backflip off the top rope and land on the... can I do a backflip off the top rope and land on the top rope with my stomach? Can I fucking do a swanton into an open chair? And as a promoter, I'm like, please, no. No, don't do that.
Maybe...
Tonight, maybe... Crazy Sasuke? What? Alright. Great Sasuke had an amazing match with Darby Allin, by the way.
Oh, I can
Sasuke's awesome, though. That's just in general. Sasuke's awesome. That is why he's great, Sasuke.
That same weekend, we went out to a bar after the King of Trios events, and we were at this bar on South Street called Downey's, and in other cultures, they very much respect professional wrestling. The Japanese culture is one of them. Sasuke was out in public, in the bar, with all of us, in his mask. Did karaoke in his mask. Drank all night, in his mask. Partied until they kicked us the fuck out, in his mask. Came to the show the next day, still drunk, still in his mask. And people were like, that's why he is not the Sasuke. He is the great Sasuke. He was hungover as fuck.
Maybe still drunk.
Yeah.
That was bad.
I remember coming up to him after night one, which was the night we worked with him. And I came up to him the next day and I was like, are you okay? And he looked at me and he adjusted his mask a little bit and he tugged it down so we could talk. And I just waited. Waiting for a response. Time is passing while he's like preparing to say something. And part of me is like, do I need like somebody to translate? Like, how are you? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And like he took a deep breath and he was like, maybe still drunk. And I was like, fuck yeah! I was so excited. I was like, hell yeah! I was like waiting for him to be like angry. Yeah. It was an uncomfortable pause.
How dare you ask?
Yeah, right? Like,
he was just pulling his life together.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think he was just gathering it all up to be like, I'm still a mess.
Mm-hmm.
But he went out that night and fucking tore it down again.
Oh, man.
He's like, maybe I ain't just as bad as the time when on video I got shot and killed. Did you ever see that video?
He did a porn.
I did a porn.
Yeah, very blurry, but he did a porn.
Well, I imagine.
Pubic region's a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, he tore it down. Sean tore it down. It was like, that was an awesome weekend. Like Sean,
Night three was
it's one of the best matches I've ever seen. Like
El Generico and 123 Kid. That was awesome.
Yes, and I remember Smart Mark. Like they got it out. Like that was when DVDs were still a thing. Like the very last end, and they somehow
whip it out.
They somehow edited the shows and then had the DVD out like the next day.
Yeah.
It was like, as a video editor, that was the most oh my god, you got the King of Trios out like the Monday after. Like you guys must have been editing night one while night two was going on, and thus and thus and thus and thus.
Oh yeah, like I know Robles always used to do that stuff all the time. He's like the man when he would get like the editing all together. Like I couldn't believe how fast it was when they were like you said, King of Trios is going to be available the Monday after, and like we're all just like exhausted from the weekend, and we're like, they're still going and putting this all out for everybody. Like,
and that's always
amazing.
the thing, the back end stuff. Like we just had this awesome show tonight at Revolver. As soon as I get back to the office, I gotta upload the footage, get the footage of Sammy so he could do the promo things and create the match graphic. I will then mix the camera angles, piece that all together, get it out on the network, and it's going to be out probably before the next weekend.
Nice. I mean, like, and that's
if Sammy gets me the match graphics. He gets sometimes like.
But see, that's a quick turnaround still. Like within a week. I mean, that's crazy. Like it's just boom, boom, boom. It's fast.
But I even feel like you have to do it that way, and I think it's almost that we have all these live streams now.
Yeah.
People, if it's not a live stream, like I know a lot of GCW stuff, it's live and that goes up, and I don't think a lot of people are buying it. Like if it's even the next day now.
Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder that too.
No, I think I think that's definitely a change in what's happened now. You know, like I think that people want to see readily accessible, and if people are talking about a match from that time, they're like, oh, you should have seen this match on Sunday. The quicker that goes up, so people can access it, I think helps the sale. You know, so like I think that's a huge one.
What is this?
No, we were just talking about video.
Talking about video edit.
With a lot of hand gestures.
This guy, he's very handsy with the hand gestures.
Yeah, that's my job.
But we'll get to circle back to this now after it's been like a half an hour since we did
Man,
this.
we're not gonna have any problems sitting.
Oh,
here.
no.
I feel bad for you having to edit this.
Oh my gosh, I might kick this off to somebody else, but I might do this myself because nobody else will want to do it. But I'll this conversation's been so delightful. I'll relive it twice.
Aw.
Yeah.
He really likes me, not you, but likes me.
It's the Wikipedia thing.
It is. I'm trying to get my own Wikipedia. He's get the inside. So
I know people. I'll see what we can do.
please do. Please do. I kind of want this to be like a regular thing that I ask. I'm curious because I was talking to you guys beforehand. I don't get to hang out with a lot of people at shows because, especially like our show tonight.
That's a thing now. Like, I feel like so many of the boys and girls don't hang out anymore.
I think it's very important to hang out because I think that's how people get connected. Like, we just did like an Egos Amigos with Kurt Stallion, and somebody was asking him.
Not a fan.
Okay, all right.
But, as you were.
Unnamed wrestler.
Mind you, I really enjoy Ethan Page. The other guy.
Unnamed wrestler was on Egos Amigos, and he was talking about
I'm at that point.
Okay, if you want to get better at wrestling, you need to smoke weed so you can hang out with people.
No.
I don't agree with that.
Corbin doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, he doesn't have any fun, he just really loves wrestling.
Yeah, but I think that's
so much fun right now.
But like
You suck.
it's about the hang a little bit, and that's what I started to learn with comedy. Is it's important to hang out with people because you get booked and all that stuff. I think there's a lot of that in pro wrestling too.
I broke in 2001.
Yes.
And when I broke in, the mentality was, or at least in the circles in which I broke in, it didn't matter how good you were. It mattered how over you were, and not with the fans. The guys that I broke in with expressed to me that the thing that mattered most was how over you were with the rest of the boys. Because when the promoter says, hey, Manscott, hey, Corbin, we don't know what to do with you tonight. What would you like to do? You want to be the guy that they say, please let me work with so-and-so. And like, on one hand, I get it, but on the other, like, this was fucking a lot of years ago now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the hanging out is definitely part of it, but I don't think it's necessarily as important as it used to be.
I don't think so. I think it's more so than ever. A little bit, because my problem is I'm always.
For example, he doesn't drink or do any drugs of any kind, and that's cool. Like, I'm not upset about it.
But I would rather hang out with somebody like that.
Sure,
you know.
But I want to go to the bar.
Yeah.
Now.
But I'll go to the bar and get soup. I mean, just silly.
You would assume that because he doesn't drink, he doesn't do drugs, that like we can't hang out together.
Yeah.
But like we do all the time. Like if I want to go to the bar, he's like, are we going to stay here till close? And I'm like, please. But we stay till close. But like if he didn't want to go to the bar, I wouldn't be like, man, Corbin sucks. I would still go to the bar, and later, because I'm sort of an adult, I would find my way back to wherever I was supposed to be so that we could get in the car and go to the show the next day.
And a lot of times we always had an agreement. Like, if I knew I was driving, I was just like, hey, like, I'll stay out as late as I can, but when it's time to go, it's time to go.
When he blows the whistle,
Yeah.
I don't care, like, if I'm about to order another drink, or if we're about to... Whatever the scenario is. When he blows the whistle, pay my tab, it's time to go.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I knew that it was important to, like, hang out with everybody, but just, like, being around was valuable for me. And, like, a lot of people didn't actually know that I didn't drink.
Like, I want the hanging out, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. I want all of that.
Yeah, and you've invited me multiple times and I've turned you down multiple
Yes,
times. That's why I want to do this. Now we're doing this and getting paid to do it.
Bonus.
So, like, that's...
Where's the dollar sign when we need it?
But, like, I didn't have time at the show tonight. to hang
No,
out.
that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're like...
But I don't think it is. I think...
I want the camaraderie and the brotherhood and the hangs and all of the after show shenanigans and the bar hangs and the trouble and all that stuff. I want all of that to be a thing. Not because of wrestling, but because, like, when the show is done, like, this is the opportunity that I feel I have to see and spend time and have fun with all of these people from all of these different areas in the country, and sometimes when we're lucky, from around the world. Like, let's all just get together and hang out. But, like, there's so, like, he's got to go to this show tomorrow. You have to film this interview tomorrow. I want to go to the bar and pass out somewhere where I can. And, like, it doesn't work that way anymore. Which is an awesome problem to have.
Yeah.
It's an amazing problem to realize, hey, man, sorry. We can't all go out and hang out and have dinner and go to the bar and do this and do that. Because we're all so busy. Wrestling's amazing right now.
Yeah.
And I love that that's a problem. That problem being, we don't always get to hang out.
And I used to love it when, like, we would do shows somewhere, like Ohio or something like that. And I would sit at a table, as we're grabbing food before we're going to leave to go our separate ways. But I remember there was times where I would reflect on it. And, like, I'd be sitting here and be like, I got my friends from Philly. I got my friends from, like, Florida. We're from Minnesota. They're from Chicago. And, like, there's 16 of you, like, all hanging out. And you're like, it's really cool that, like, a lot of my good friends, far away, long distance. But it's cool that you can all come together because you have a similar interest. I always loved that about wrestling. And
you might have been onto something with that whole, like, Gingers Feel More thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, there's a part of me that feels, like, really cheesy about being like, I love the fact that when the show's done, we have an opportunity to hang out with all our friends from all these different places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't always get to, but, I mean, like, I don't want to step on your toes or anything or speak for you, but, like, we always want to. Mm-hmm. Like, I want to go to the bar. Yes. He wants to go get something to eat. Yes. But if we got to meet in the middle or do half and half, or, like, these guys and girls want to go to the bar, these guys and girls want to go eat, like, hey, man, I'll see you later.
Yep.
And we go.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
because I see this motherfucker a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
And, like, I realize that there's a part of that sounds cheesy, like, whatever. You'll probably see most of those guys and girls in 2 weeks at a different show in a different town. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might. I want to hang out with them every time, every town, after every show. Like, for me, that's what I want to do. I love wrestling. I love that 10 to 12 minutes in the ring between the bells, but I also really, really, really love hanging out and shooting the shit and being around the same people. I don't want to say the same people, but people that have the same interests and love and appreciation for this really dumb, crazy, wacky, amazing thing that we get to do every weekend. Yeah. Like, I want to spend time with those people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And
even if they're not having any fun.
Yeah, but I think that's very important, and it's an overlooked thing. Like, we don't talk about that
and, like, rewind to the Denny's and does our hotel have a gym in it? Like, that's a thing anymore. That's a thing. Like, when I came up, nobody cared about, like, where we were gonna eat after the show. Nobody cared about if our hotel had a gym in it. It was like, what's the after party like? Is there a bar? Is there a strip club nearby? Like, can we all hang out? Like, what are we gonna do after the show? Like, let's all go do something.
But I think you're right. It is everybody's busy now.
Yes.
Because I've always felt like for a long time
it's
I've had to go somewhere else, and that's why I've missed out on a lot of good hangs because I've had to go do this and I do this, and then all of a sudden like I realize how valuable that is, so I reach for it. But everybody's now become just as busy as I am.
Yes, everybody is just as busy as the next person.
Because we're not just rolling our bags in anymore; we're doing other things, and
Correct.
also too we're getting 3 shows a weekend as opposed to.
I don't think
this
at
or
any
Friday
point anybody from the busiest to the this is my only show that happens to be 20 minutes from my doorstep. I don't think anybody drives to a show, or I don't even want to say drives. I don't think anybody arrives to an event and says, I don't want to hang out with anybody later. I think it's just we've all become so busy. We've all found a way to take this crazy wrestling thing that we do, that we love and appreciate, and there's been this like adult moment of what else can I do with it? And like for an example, here we are.
Yeah.
You know, like
we're on the clock.
we are on the clock.
And
Double time.
Maybe this is like going on a different tangent. Like the one thing I've noticed, because like, you know, while I'm not having any fun while I'm hanging out at the bar,
I know.
So like my thing was I always enjoyed it because like I would hear stories and get to talk with people and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Especially when I was new, and like I just knew it was cool to be around. Like I don't have to sit there and chime in all the time. I can just absorb. And like I think one of the things that's weird to me, and this is gonna make me sound old.
Lights are bright.
Sunburn. But like one of the things that's weird to me now is I see a lot of the new kids like we'll be in a group, and then I think the natural thing rather than like become immersed in a situation when you're out of your comfort zone is to head into your phone.
Oh,
like,
especially now. Fuck.
because like I think you and I will sit there and like we get this one every now and then where we'll talk to people and we'll, you know, like people we haven't seen for a while, and we'll have somebody new around us, and like, you know, they'll pull up a spot, but we'll sit there and be talking, and it's like 4 people, and then the rest, when they realize they're not involved in the conversation, kind of go into their phone, and it's like you're there but you're not there. And for somebody
But then that doesn't push people to be engaging enough or cool enough to get involved in the conversation and the flow of what's going on. We have this safety blanket that we could just fall to. Like,
Yeah.
and so I don't have to come up with a cool personality or something to say or something to contribute to this conversation. I can just sneak away.
I'm definitely finding out that I'm the older guy in the group because I find myself always being like,
old.
well, yeah, I'm fucking old, thanks.
Listen, he's only 4 years old, 4 months older than me. I'll check the Wikipedia page.
Man, I really
Wikipedia page is so informational for you guys.
I wish I could change
Said great for interviews.
But like I find myself like nudging the younger guys, and I'm like, hey, put your phone away and like be involved in this conversation, be involved in this moment. Like, you might fucking learn something.
Dad Eric Cannon's pretty fun.
Dad Eric Cannon wants to fucking ground everyone.
I know, that's why it's fun.
But that's what was nice about Bar is because I didn't have to do anything other than wrestle.
You got to be one of the boys and just be one of the boys.
Yeah, unlike tonight where I had to run the merch table, do commentary,
Oh, yeah.
go over to my match.
So
together.
that was the crazy thing. When I brought Jake that White Claw, I looked around for him for what I felt was far too fucking long.
Yeah.
Like I made a full lap. And then I was like, yo, anybody know where the fuck Man Scout is? And they were like, yeah, he's on the stage.
Yeah, he's doing work.
I'm like, what do you-
find out where the work's at. And
I'm
that's
like,
where he's at.
I'm like, on the stage? They were like, yeah, he's doing commentary. And then I was like, for real?
Yeah.
And then I circled around a little more and I'm like, so where's commentary at? And like they were like, are you doing commentary? No, but I'm looking for Man Scout. They were like, he's running the hard cam. What? So I'm at the bar. Fans are buying me and a couple of the other guys drinks. And I'm like, can I get an extra White Claw? They're like, yo, you drink White Claw, Eric Cannon? I'm going to tell PBR that. I'm like, it's cool. It's okay.
I'm getting it for a guy who's got abs.
It's not.
Hold
It's
on.
not for me. It's not for me. So, drinks all around. I find the stage and like, no bullshit. Jake's like manning the camera, headset on, doing commentary, trying to listen to the other commentary guy, and I'm like, doo, 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 doo. You want this? And he looks at. He's like. I'm like, yeah. So he opens it, he takes a couple of drinks, and he's like, oh, Sammy Callahan and Tessa Blanchard, this, that, and the other. Holy shit! And he turns to me and he's like, you want it back? And I'm like, no. You take it. You take it. I was so, like, I did not know that on a night like tonight, you wrestled, you ran the hard cam, you ran the merch table, you did commentary, you're doing this, you're babysitting the other guys in the other room, like...
I'm also delivering padding. You got to do $5 wrestling commentary this weekend. and I drove all the way here. I didn't let any of them
You
drive.
guys, when you see Man Scout at a show near you, buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Give him a high five.
God.
Man of many hats.
Give him a hug and tell him you love him.
Because I might not be around long. I'm working myself to death. I'm very close.
Where the fuck is Fit Finlay when you go? Jesus. I got dark. I'm not mad about it, but it got dark.
Yeah.
That's my humor. That's how I do it.
You're allowed. You're allowed.
But we've known each other for a very long time.
Sorry.
But I'm curious.
Okay.
What is your earliest memory of me? I'm very curious because that's the thing too. This is a good transition into it because I do so many things and I'm so many places that I'm always curious what people's first memory of me, because I might have been around them and they might not remember.
So, I'm not sure that it's necessarily a memory, but I definitely know that I met, like my first memory of / with you versus the first time I think I met you are not the same. I'm almost positive the first time we met was a No Limits thing in Muscatine.
Muscatine, yes.
I don't remember a whole lot more beyond that, but my first memory of you is with TJ Wilson.
Yeah.
Like, that's my, Man Scott Manning, yo! TJ Wilson kicked his fucking face off! That's my first memory of you. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you remember. I don't.
Wow. Yeah. So that was what? That was the 2004? 2005?
2006.
Wow, see, I'm so old and forgetting things. So maybe what I think, and remember that I remember, and what I think I know, I don't know shit.
No. But I'll tell you, I got knocked unconscious, but still caught El Generico on his dives.
That!
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember standing there on my knees waiting for TJ Wilson, to Tyson Kidd, do a spinning just kick right to the face. Boom.
He went, that thing we're so accustomed to now because MMA and UFC and all this stuff is so popular, that whole fucking, that was him.
Oh, man.
Right at your feet.
No. So I'm on the apron. I'm on the floor because whatever is occurring is about to set up some dives.
Yes.
And all I remember is, and Jake, I don't know who's on the floor with me, but I'm like, he's dead. And mind you, I'm not a fucking EMT. I'm not a nurse. I've never seen ER, so I don't know how it works. But I'm like, yo, Jake's dead. And I remember dragging you out of the ring, putting you on the floor, and being like, Jake, are you okay? Are you alive? Hey, man, talk to me. And at some point, this is the conversation we had. What the fuck? And I'm like, yo, TJ killed you. TJ kicked your face off. And you were like, yeah, but now what? I'm like, I don't know, dude. Are you okay? And instinct, I don't know, what have you, a memory popped in. You got up and oh, fuck, it's a dive. And that's what I remember. That's my memory.
My professionalism.
This guy needs a Wikipedia page. That's my memory.
Just second nature to catch.
Dude. Some of the stuff they say in commentary is so dumb and fucking bullshit. But then all of a sudden, when you find yourself in that instance and you're like, Jake got KO'd. Jake came to, and Jake was like, what happened? I don't know, fuck, I gotta catch this dive. It just happens. I know I met you prior to that. I'm pretty positive it was at an NWA No Limits show in Muscatine, Iowa.
That's when you were on crutches. I was in the ring.
Oh, why was I in crutches?
You hurt your leg some.
I mean, I guess if I was on
Was
crutches.
this the ladder fall into the wall at MPW?
Maybe, I don't know. But my memory is making sure that you weren't dead.
Yeah. I remember you long before, like at those No Limit shows. I remember you being on crutches, and I remember watching a lot of tapes, like out of Mid South. And you
Why is this guy hurt?
Oh, I just knew you were a big deal.
Oh,
because that was when Ian was like pushing you against like
Wikipedia page.
Yeah, you were wrestling like AJ, and you had that big feud with Chris Hero, and you guys were doing cravats and stuff like that. And I remember you being on crutches.
You have no idea how many young fucking local kids in Minneapolis I've tried to cravat, and they take a fucking snapper bump on their own, and they're like, asshole! Like this. That's not what I was doing, but it's cool, kid. Don't worry about it.
Well, you definitely saw a cravat that night when you were on crutches, because I grabbed a guy in a cravat and looked right at you and said, cravat.
This fucking guy.
Yeah. That was me trying to be your friend.
I mean,
I was making a joke, but I remember you.
I was probably angry about it. Like,
You were. You told Merrick Brave, like, who's this fucking
that's
guy?
my fucking cravat that I took from Chris Hero! Yeah.
That's my earliest memory of you.
Fast forward, you got knocked the fuck out for fucking stealing my cravat.
It's all. And then, a few years later, I got knocked out again in the 10-man loser tag.
Jeff Peterson Memorial Cup, not your friend.
Fuck, man. Every time I'm in it, that loser 10-man, I just get fucked up.
So wait, TJ KO'd you the first time.
Yes.
And then?
Yeah,
I hope that the name value goes up.
well, I mean, it probably will in the future. Because I'm sure the future's bright for him. But it was, we were all outside. We were supposed to catch Air Fox running up the pole and doing the flip on me.
Oh, off the ring post.
Ring post, yes.
Okay.
And for a long time, I held a lot of like bad feelings towards that because I thought it was his fault. Until like years later, I got around to watching the footage of it, and what happened was when he came down, I fell backwards, and then the base of my skull hit the guardrail.
Oh.
Because all I remember is being like this, and then I'm unconscious.
Are you allowed to use clips in this?
I don't know if we have the rights to that.
Oh, okay. Because that'd be like some amazing editing, like, fuck you! Oh, but it was my fault.
Yeah, and I'm fucking... And basically, they had two referees.
So, in a similar instance, minus the knocked out part, the Mania weekend in Miami, there's a Dragon Gate USA show. I did a singles with Fox, and Pinky Sanchez was ringside. And Fox really loves that kickflip dive off the post.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is.
If I could do it, I would also love it.
If I was a promoter, I'd book him to do it and then book Fit Finlay just so we could yell.
Oh!
Trying to do it in slow mo.
So I say to Fox, I'm like, yo, that shit's really awesome and it's really gnarly. I don't know if I trust myself to catch you on that alone. And he's like, yeah, it's fine. Pinky will be out there. And I'm like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. So I'm pretty sure that High Spots has the okay to use this. I hope, because it would make a great cutscene. During that match, Fox goes for that, and I straight up grab Pinky by the fucking shirt, and I'm like, catch him. I literally am like, you catch him, and I throw Pinky in front of AR Fox.
How'd it work out for Pinky?
Great, he caught the fuck out of him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying, and then Pinky died. This motherfucker's dead.
I definitely fucking threw Pinky into traffic, but I was also there to slow the bust down. Mm-hmm. You know, but like, Pinky took the most of it because I basically begged Fox. I was like, dude, I want you to be okay. I don't think I can catch you on this. And he goes, it's cool. Pinky will be out there. A couple of minutes later, he does the fucking shooter to the outside, right through our arms, to the floor. AR Fox is a fucking madman. He fucking shooting star to the floor, popped up. I'm the fucking man. Like, he ate shit.
Oh yeah,
so hard.
He did that to me in a singles match. I was wearing the shitty singlet.
Ooh, the big fucking thing.
Yeah, and I caught him because it like. Perfectly, but
you're the only guy. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, but there was no guardrails there, so I felt safe about it.
Okay, why?
Because I wasn't gonna hit my fucking.
Oh,
spine. Yeah. So I had all this room back to fall. Because that was a problem when I caught him in the 10-man. Is everybody was like around. There was like all 9 of us. So I only had so much room to fall backwards and then absorb it. Everybody else stayed away from the guardrail. I went to it, and that's. What
I fucking hate the like. I hope he's okay. I hate that. I like look. I don't want to get kicked in the head. I don't want to catch an elbow. But like, come on, dude. Like, catch that fucking guy. He's trusting us to fucking catch him. That's why he's doing this dive.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Well, that's why I wanted to be there to ensure. And it's an awkward catch.
It is.
But
I have a lot of momentum.
But I'm like, no, I'm gonna get in there, and then I fucked up for it, and then I still had to be the large part of the end of that match. And of course, after I get knocked unconscious, I get drugged to the back, left for dead, and
this is after the Fox spot.
After the Fox spot.
Okay, so this is Jeff Peterson Memorial Cup. What year?
2009, 2010.
All right.
Maybe 11.
Wait a minute. Was this like the like on the brink of Evolve happening?
Yes, because what happened was the next year in the Jeff Peterson Cup, when I was the Florida Heritage Champion, I wrestled Fox because I think they knew that I was kind of upset that I felt that Fox back in the conscious like, oh, we'll just book them in the first round.
Okay.
Because that's what Sal Homoya likes to do.
I'm a big fan of Sal's.
Yeah.
When it's not a Sal show. But that might be all promoters. I don't know.
I actually like them more when it's a Sal show.
Yeah?
Yeah, when it's a Gabe show, it's a different Sal.
Whoa.
Yeah, but when it's just Sal and he's running Jeff Peterson Cup and all that.
I would love it if everyone that's watching this right now would tweet an instance of when they personally saw Gabe throw shit at a show. That'd be tight.
But it was
Hashtag Gabe throws shit.
There it is.
You would know better than anybody. I was just working the merch table.
Well, I have a Wikipedia page.
Exactly.
Oh man, here we go again.
And Dragon Gate USA is listed on it.
One saw. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the time.
Oh my! There are so many times that, like that Dragon Gate USA run was so fun, but there were so many times the Gabe was angry.
Yeah, I never saw anger.
I'm a big fan of Gabe's.
I mean, I like him too.
I just think that he and I don't work well together.
See, I never saw him angry. I always saw him disappointed in me. So that's
I
always saw disappointment.
I've never been disappointed in you.
Oh, well,
I did
you're
one
not,
pre-show.
You're not until it's Sapolsky then. So like,
This guy, on the other hand,
I did one pre-show for Dragon Gate USA.
Yeah.
And I wrestled Mox.
This interview is all over the place.
And I
oh wait, that's what this is supposed to be.
Okay.
And I hit a warped board on the finish and knocked myself out. And I'm pretty positive, like the bits and pieces I remember about coming to, I am pretty positive that I asked Gabe numerous times throughout the day if I did okay.
Me and Gabe.
Yeah, because here's what
Hey man, Mox he did that thing, and
I took it really.
was it okay? Like, yeah, dude, like it was gnarly.
Yeah, because
but it was okay, right? I hit my head. Was it okay? It was awesome. In the worst way possible. It was awesome.
what the reason it messed me up is because it was at whatever the Congress, I think it is.
Congress Theater in Chicago.
Yeah, so like I hit it and then I came to like on the 3rd floor, and I was in the locker room and like I assumed.
Hey, what happened?
Because what I assumed is I took the finish, they counted to 3, and I was just like, that was good. And I walked up to the so I was really like
Fucking Austin Aries over here. You were doing that before everybody else. Getting up and just walking out from the finish. You were doing that before everybody else.
So I'm pretty positive every time I crossed paths with Gabe, I was like, was everything okay? Did I do a good job? And like, because I was still groggy, so like
I would love it if we see Gabe tomorrow and you were like, hey Gabe. Do you remember?
No, so like what I think I just annoyed the shit out of him. So like he was like, Corbin, like
At the end of the night, he was like, "Hey, Cannon, I think your guy. I think maybe he got knocked stupid." And I was like,
oh
"Yeah."
Yep.
And he goes, he asked me about his match like a dozen times, and
that seems low.
And I'm not sure if he was messing with me or not. And I'm like, yeah, he definitely got knocked pretty stupid. Yeah. He did the same thing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my only
on the way home, like driving home from Chicago to Minneapolis is like 7 hours. Like all of a sudden out of nowhere, like I think it went well. I think it went well for what it was, but like I just don't remember the finish. I'm like, dude,
it's over.
It was fucking. It's over. It was fine. You did great. Like, let's just stop talking about it. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know, but like, was it okay?
Yeah. And then you're stuck in there for 7 hours.
It was a long drive.
No, I fell asleep.
But having been knocked out, I tried to keep him awake because, when you get knocked stupid, blah, blah,
well, apparently, it's reversed that now. You're supposed to fall asleep right now.
Well, technology's really fucking with me in the future. Like, I'm going to say things
especially
today.
Shut the brain down.
That tomorrow's going to fuck me up. But, like, I tried to keep him awake as long as I could. But at some point, I was like, fuck, shut up, go to sleep. We're just going to get home. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was actually a big excuse, so I wouldn't have to drive home that night.
I mean, I've done that. I just do it at the bar.
That's a great play. That's kudos to you, sir.
Yeah.
We need to get into like some spicy fucking shit so people want to watch this.
I think we're right there.
Yeah.
We're on the nerve.
All right.
But
another drink, and I'm ready to shoot on everybody.
Right, before we get there, what's your first memory of me?
So here's the funny part about it. Because
we'll get that next. We'll round robin this shit.
No, so like the thing with you and me is like I remember like no I'm good. I remember we crossed paths a lot, and they would always be at random shows, but we'd always just get time to like, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Like it was pretty much it, and like I would just, but I don't think it was until recently where we actually like got to either interact in a match or talk. I think everything up until the point, because I think we met at when I was really new. I think we met at No Limits.
You were the North Star Express. Yeah. You teamed with Ryan Cruz.
Yep.
Yes.
And
I was actually dating a female wrestler who was named Ryan Cruz.
That's hilarious.
There are bitches everywhere.
Yeah. And like, so that was the first show that I remember actually meeting you.
We can talk about that on camera if you want. We're cool. I mean, it wasn't bad. We can go back to his store that we're talking about. We were having a little sidebar. But
that's fine. Yeah, but I should
just
just start
brought up female wrestlers.
I should just start
and how I like to throw my dick in them. Like,
whoa, that's the trailer.
I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna take it. I try and throw it in, and they're like, nah, not you.
You're back.
He's just drinking coffee.
But yeah, like that was the.
As I said, go to a bar, get silly. I ain't talking about drinking. Like, come on, this is what I do. You keep me up late, give me some fat burns, I get all jittery, and I start saying shit I shouldn't say on a red light.
You were definitely a little jittery for a second. I was like, oh man.
Oh, it was.
It kicked in.
Well, because I'm like, is the audio okay? Is the cameras all right? Am I doing okay? Yeah. I think that intro went okay.
Even if it's not okay, the people that like us on the Twitter, they're gonna say it's okay.
It's okay.
Is the intro okay?
Oh, intro's great. Okay. Best intro we've had all day.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think I did okay. I think I did all right.
It's definitely the best.
But back to it.
But I don't remember us actually like really getting to like interact for like a long time.
Because nobody wants to talk to you.
That's fine. But like until we did like, and I don't remember. I thought we did like a battle royal somewhere.
Ooh, see, this is another way I do this because there's certain things I don't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, after all these years, there's a lot.
I can't think what battle royal would have been.
But I remember being at a random show where I think we were just involved, and it was just like that's what I thought it was, because like we would always cross paths at like random points, like NWA No Limits, and then like
there was a time at Heavy on Wrestling.
Yes,
I was up there.
Really?
Yeah.
I was on the show. My girlfriend at the time was on the show. which is, I think, why you had the sidebar conversation with me asking if we were still together. We are not. We've been broken up for well over a year. Thanks for paying attention, buddy.
And I don't, and that was the other thing, like we talked earlier. I always remember you were doing so much, like doing stuff with high spots.
I saw you at the casino together.
Yeah. Oh, we had a wonderful time that night. That was a great little loop vacation. We loved each other then. That was a happy time in my life, my friend.
I'm sorry that you're here.
Now I'm doing interviews at 3 o'clock in the morning at Ramada Inn in Des Moines, Iowa.
When you say it like that, it sounds awesome.
Your laughter makes me uncomfortable. No, really, you're having too much fun. I don't feel that.
But yeah, like that was kind of always the thing, like just random, either because I knew you were either doing the high spots table a lot or doing like filming or whatever, and so like it wasn't really until like recently I feel that we didn't really interact.
I'm trying to listen to somebody's story while somebody's trying to eye me. Another question about my ex-girlfriend, apparently, because that's what he wants to talk about.
Is there something you would like to ask on this show?
Yeah, if you want to ask, go ahead. I'll tell you all about it.
Let's
I mean, it ended amicably. You guys are good friends.
Cheers.
I'm intrigued.
I mean, Sergio Bolt, one of the best Ohio Valley women's champion of all time. He's like, oh, you broke up with her.
Now I know who you're talking about.
A good friend of mine didn't know I was broken up with my girlfriend for a year and a half.
I just didn't know. I didn't know.
Because we didn't have a big meltdown on Facebook about it.
You're an adult.
Goddamn right, we are.
Been all over that Wikipedia page.
Both of you.
Yeah. I mean, if I had a Wikipedia page, you would have saw past relationships. So.
Take two. What were you saying?
Oh, I think we wrapped it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, say heavy on wrestling.
Yeah.
I was there with my ex-girlfriend. I was like, man, you're Corbin, yeah.
I was trying to think, because like, I mean, at first I was like, hey, was it like one of those Wrestling Is shows that we met? But I don't think that was.
I never did those.
Yeah, so like that.
No.
I always felt like
I always wanted to do those.
Yeah.
But
And I haven't really been out that way too
Wrestling
much.
Is show.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's your first memory of me?
Oh, I mean, like it was positive, which is good because there's been so.
It was super fucking negative. I fucking just.
After you tell me your first, I'll ask you about the next one.
Okay. No, I mean, okay, so like my first memory of you was.
Say something nice. People are watching.
Yeah, fine. No, I mean it was because like the thing I was a big like PWI reader and like
Nerd.
I read about like Chikara and CZW.
The proto Wikipedia.
Yeah, and I recognized his name from that, and so like I think I was just at training and he had come in because like the first training session I was there from, I didn't ask you to autograph fucking anything. I didn't have the magazine.
Oh, you're saying autograph? I thought you were saying you wanted to co-sign a loan. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I would believe that.
No, I think the first time I was ever at training for a show, you did a tag. Because the first independent show I ever went to was an MPW show. I'm pretty positive you were in a tag. But I didn't get to talk to you until like the next training session.
Because I don't talk to fans.
But,
Damn.
yeah. But
Is it? So this is when it gets spicy in the interview?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But like the first thing I said, like the first time I actually got to talk with you, because like we did like a little like training thing, and like you were walking me through chain wrestling, like at one of the Tuesday sessions, and like we got out of the ring, and I was like, dude, you literally wrestle for like places I've read about and want to go. I want to travel. I want to do all this stuff. And like you just looked at me and were like, well, if this is what you want to do, I'll help you do it. I'll help you get your foot in the door. But when you fuck it up, you stay home. And that was exactly how it went.
Oh, you Zane Riley to him. That's the way I treated Zane when I first met him.
So that was my first memory of you.
Okay.
But like, I remember getting in the ring and being like, holy shit, he does, like, you were chain wrestling with me and you're like, grab here and just, and you were like guiding me through shit. And I was like, holy fuck. Like,
I also think I'm a pretty good teacher.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, my success speaks for itself. But yeah, like that was my first memory of you.
Okay.
Yeah. Good.
What else you got, sweetheart?
Well, we've already.
I know what your first memory of me was though too.
I don't.
Fucking kid didn't shake my hand. He's not gonna last. He's Marty Jannetty. That was later, but you were so wrong, fucking dick. But yeah.
This guy over here.
I got jokes.
Fucking
Drink your claw.
But like, I want to know like.
So wait, did we really burn through your list?
Oh, there's a lot of questions.
Keep going.
These are just questions and topics in case the conversation stalls.
Oh!
No.
And
Oh.
it has. We did not talk about Ireland and South or the early days of CZW.
Yeah.
If you want to jump into any one of these topics, go right ahead.
We can talk about anything you
They're
want.
on the list. Well, one there might be a quick that you could probably answer for me.
Okay.
When you tell people that you're a wrestler,
Yeah.
and you tell them, and they ask, "Oh, what's your name?" and you say Darin Corbin,
Mm-hmm.
how many people ask, "Are you Baron Corbin's brother?"
I get that more on like social media than I do like in person. But like my favorite one is like I'll say it to somebody and they'll be like, "What's your name?" Darin Corbin, and like they'll go to walk away and then they'll come back and be like, "Do you know there's a Baron Corbin on TV?" Like I'm
just curious what normal people say.
like I've been under a rock for like a fucking 4 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, like a lot of times on social media, people try and like connect the dots, but like in person, people will sometimes like either some will joke about it or some will whatever. But my personal favorite is like people who think that they're really knowledgeable and think that think that the origin of me came where I started in like post 2014 and was like, I like that guy's name. I should switch it a little bit.
You should stop talking shit about wrestling fans.
No, because they're all over this fucking like my match with OC. Like you go through the comments and everyone's just like, Darin Corbin, that's original. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't know this. And fucking when I started in 04,
There's like a whole crop of new wrestling fans.
There's
there's
like
a
a
bunch.
serious joke amongst the group of guys that know us, more specifically that know him, that were at NXT, that were in developmental during that time when Baron Corbin came up. And when his name popped off, guys like Rob Naylor and Chris Hero and et cetera, were all like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, But, you know, you can't always buck the system all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
like when Kurt Hawkins tried to steal the Man Scout character.
ooh.
I didn't know this.
Oh yeah.
Whatever,
And
start
then-
collecting action figures.
And then all of a sudden started doing a losing streak gimmick about the time I was doing my losing streak gimmick for Northeast Wrestling.
It's getting warm in here.
You think so?
A little.
Like I said, it'd be more about me than you.
Tell me more.
Well, I just said it all.
There's gotta be some
He's just stolen everything that I've ever come up with. That's all. That's why I'm doing an interview at 3:00 in the morning at a Ramada Inn in Des Moines, Iowa.
I tried to offer you a drink, but you said no.
When that tent shows up on fucking.
Oh my.
When a tent fucking shows up, I'm tagging with those two guys.
But yeah, so that's kind of like normally that's the split. Like,
Yeah,
a lot of
I'm more curious about the mainstream people that meet and then like
There's a match that's currently on YouTube with him versus Orange Cassidy. And the popularity of Orange Cassidy coupled with the AEW, coupled with just Orange Cassidy being like fucking so amazing. Like there are so many casual fans that are also, I don't want to give him any credit. However, Mr. Tennis Racket Guy, heel, buried the match on social media, which generated all kinds of views, which we talked about earlier, about how this and that pushed against each other.
and he's usually from that side.
Always that side. But there are so many comments about like, oh, Darin Corbin, I can't wait till he wrestles Smith Rollins. I can't wait till he wrestles Biff Collins. And it's like, I get it. I understand
Tom
the jokes.
Cena.
It's so funny, but like, no offense to Baron Corbin, but he was wrestling for what, like a decade?
Started in 04, yeah.
A decade prior to Baron Corbin? Not that there's like a pissing contest. Not that there's like a fucking, oh, I can't believe.
Me and my brother are cool. Yeah.
Him and his brother are very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But simply, like, as a
Sure,
wrestling
man.
fan that wants to talk shit, like, I don't know.
Get your fucking facts straight.
Yeah.
Maybe just do, like, that much homework. I don't know.
Like the other one too that was weird is like somebody gave me shit for calling. They were like, "Ooh," and he does the RKO and calls it the ginger snap. I'm like, "You're really gonna like pick on me for doing a cutter?"
Yeah.
Like as if that's
An
not
ace
gonna, like-
crusher?
Yeah.
Can we take a time out and talk about how amazing Randy Orton is?
Yeah, Orton's great.
Oh, we were just talking about him and a Twitch stream that he.
I would just like to point out how that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I was stepping on your joke. I know you're building.
No, you're good. You're good. It's a team effort.
I was just talking about
We're
current
doing-
events on something that.
I genuinely feel bad for you having to edit this because you're gonna fight hard for a quality 60 minutes.
Oh no, we've already blown through 60 minutes.
But like a quality.
Well, I think this last 20's been pretty fucking quality. We've buried
hell
a
yeah.
lot of people on the way out.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna get worse.
Wait until we start talking about today's wrestling.
Which, the reason I bring up your brother's story is the internet.
I don't have a brother.
Oh, you don't have a brother?
No.
Derek Kane.
According to the internet, who my brother is CM Punk.
Your brother? Oh shit.
I didn't know this.
Apparently, according to Yahoo Answers.
This is a real thing?
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
On Yahoo Answers.
I'm really not big on the internet.
Vanity search, boom, 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 come
Sure.
up. Somebody asked, is Scott Manning, Jake Manning, CM Punk's brother?
Do you
Because
You should say yes.
I should, yeah. But
You should say yes.
yeah, and just go with it.
Yeah. I don't know what your fucking gimmick is.
And the reasons why they think I'm CM Punk's brother is because I wear hoodies and skull caps on a regular basis, and I work with Cole Cabana on a regular basis.
Me and Bray Wyatt are twins.
See what I mean? That's the whole reason. As if there's no other reason that me and Colt would ever have any type of association whatsoever.
Yowie wowie.
Apparently, Phil's my brother.
That's so weird. Like wrestling fans are the
But that's
bestest
a wrestling
/
fan thing.
worstest people.
A lot of people, especially some fans, like trolling more than they like actual wrestling.
Oh, for sure. But
And-
you can clearly see those people.
Yeah.
And
Are you
then
talking about Cornette?
Oh no, I'm not talking about anyone specific. But follow up,
this is a
like
high spots for
kind
this.
of giving an example.
I don't know.
Like
Oh,
Is that a cool thing?
that's like the company motto. Just like
Fuck him.
fuck him, then he fucks us, and then we go back and forth. And then
No,
there's a lot of
fuck
people that say, "Oh, I didn't realize that you
So-
existed because of him." And
I told Corbin in the car today. I was like, wait until this comes out. Fun fact. Turns out Jim Cornette actually fucking loves high spots, deathmatch wrestling, spot monkeys, guys that don't know the difference between when, where, and why. And like he just loves all these things. But because Jim Cornette's been a heel from the jump, he's always been a heel. But because he loves all these things, as his position in wrestling, as a heel, he buries it all simply to put it all over. I know that's total bullshit. I know that's garbage.
it's like those conspiracy theories in like movies and stuff.
But man, what if?
or like that part in like Blacked Out, where David Koechner was like, "And I'm telling you, this country's been fucked since the gold standard." Like I'm waiting for him to burst out on some rant.
Like, can you imagine? Like what would happen if Cornette was like, I love all these things. I love it all. But like, I'm a heel, so I have to bury it. And like, indirectly, because Cornette loves all these things that he says he hates, by saying that he hates it on all of his platforms, he's doing nothing but putting more eyes on it. And that's the plan all along. Clearly, I don't think he's that smart. I don't think that's the plan whatsoever. But wouldn't it be some shit if that's what it was doing? Like, can you imagine? Like, fuck you, Joey Ryan. I hate you, Joey Ryan. Everybody that heard me say that right now is like, who's Joey Ryan? Why is he mad at Joey Ryan? I should look up Joey Ryan. Joey Ryan's the guy that does the thing with his dick? Like, what if that was the thing? It's not, but what if? Because you have to...
I would be inclined to believe it.
Because, like...
Because he's always been nice to me, and he should fucking hate
You've
my
heard the
existence.
story. You've heard the story about how
he should like shoot lasers out of his goddamn eyes just looking at me. But he's
Sure.
been kind to me every time.
I mean, like, I don't know, tent.
I mean,
tennis racket, tent.
Yeah.
But like you've heard the story. Jim Cornette walked up to the Young Bucks and he was like, "How do you guys feel? We have the only fucking real angle in wrestling today. Everybody thinks I actually hate you guys." And they were like, "What the fuck?" They didn't say fuck, but like, you know what I mean. So like, that context, like, what if Cornette's just fucking working everyone and he actually really loves all the things that he
It's all a
hates?
show.
Oh, it's absolutely all a show.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy that dressed up and fucking wrestled a Ninja Turtle. Jumped off a scaffold match. What kind of mud show holds a scaffold match? Like, what do you do? Broke both his legs.
Jim Crockett Promotions.
Right? Like fuck. This is literally how we started the interview. People of today hate the people of yesterday. The people of yesterday hate the people of tomorrow. Blah blah blah.
And then sometimes somebody just work punch you in the middle of a friendlies.
Yo, it's not friendly to fight your friends at friendlies.
You don't like scaffold matches?
No, I mean, I don't want to watch one.
Nobody wants to watch one.
They're technical classics.
Well, gentlemen, we've almost done 2 hours.
Yeah,
If you're curious.
we're good at this.
We are fantastic at this.
Yes.
But before we get out of here.
Okay.
Are you trying to take it home?
Yeah, probably.
Let's hit the high spots and wrap it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Hit the high spots on the High Spots Wrestling Network. Best 99 in the biz.
Best nut.
We've shit on Cornette. We've plugged the network.
I
We've done everything now.
I didn't necessarily shit on Cornette. I mean,
I
like, fuck Jim Cornette, but like, I didn't necessarily shit
now
on
you,
it
you
is.
exposed him as a charlatan. I believe that counts.
Oh, yeah.
Which Michael's gonna be super happy with this interview. Like as soon as I get done here, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, Arik can shit all over Jim Cornette. Great.
And
Darin Corbin shit all over Fit Finlay.
Wait a second. So Michael's not a Cornette guy?
Oh well,
Do you
that's
call him Michael or do you say Mike?
no, Michael. Never Mike.
Just so Michael knows, I also bought one of those blank t-shirts.
It's blank t-shirt.
One of the G-Raver blank t-shirts.
Oh, okay.
I bought one of those.
There you
I don't understand the middle finger on that.
Oh, because the blank t-shirts aren't blank, they're actually Jim Cornette.
Oh!
Fuck you, t-shirts.
Got it.
Yeah.
You bought that. Good for you. It's a good church.
But what I want to know, guys, from both of you,
Yes.
church.
is what do you want out of wrestling? What is it? What is it you're seeking to do? There's a lot of opportunity right now.
I'll go first because I think mine's a little bit more simplistic, and I've come to a little bit of like a realization. I come to it. I said from day one, the two things I wanted to do is I would wrestle until my body decided that it was time to give it up, and until it's no longer fun anymore. And I just wanted to travel and see the world through wrestling, and that was always awesome to me. And like people always be like, well, don't you have aspirations to go here? And don't you have aspirations to like, well, shouldn't you say like you want to make this much money? And like one of the ways it was put to me is like, you should always try and make as much money in the business as you can. And like I think when people say or hear that I want to have fun, they think like, oh, he just wants to wrestle and doesn't give a shit if he gets paid or not. And that's actually the opposite. Because like when you get paid to do something you really love, it's a lot of fun. And so like, the only thing why it's hard is because I was always told, Jerry Lynn, again, we can't stress how awesome he is.
God bless him.
But like, Jerry told me
this way or this way?
I think it's this. I mean, yeah.
Either way, it's your head.
But like Jerry told me when I had just started, like the best thing you can have in this business is longevity, because you don't know what's right around the corner.
Yeah.
And like, if you would have asked me in 2008, like, where do you want to end up? I have like 3 options. You know, really at that time. Now you have so many different options, so many different things. So like, if I want to travel and see the world, I have places that I can do that. I can even do that without being associated with a spot, because like the interest is up, the chances are up. Like my 2017 to 2019 has been some of my like most fun, most innovative, most creative stuff that I've gotten to do. And like I've gone to states I haven't been to before. I've wrestled for promotions that I've wanted to wrestle for. I've gotten to do a bunch of things I haven't, and you know, like in the past 10 years prior to that. So I'm having so much fun now, to a point where I'm always like, oh man, I really want to do this. Can I see if I can get this wacky idea over? Can I see if I can do this? And it's weird, because now in the sense where it's like, oh, I know that this place might not want me to do this, but this place might allow me to do that. And that option is great. And I feel like there's a lot of like independent and pioneers that have made that possible, because now they let you can kind of control, like, like for us, if we want to do a character or comedic stuff, we have spots for that. And not even just like a promotion, but like there are places looking to add that in a variety show style. We have that. Where like maybe 10 years ago, there was like, that might work at blank.
Yeah.
And
they always Chikara, but like, no, we're serious wrestlers, don't do that, you're gonna kill the crowd, don't kill the business. Now it's like, do the fuck you want.
Yeah, and so like that's always a thing, and like I see so many guys who get out of wrestling, and you know, like we make the joke all the time, bitter people in wrestling, and I couldn't imagine, you know, being somebody who's like loved it since I've been a kid, getting to do it, which like right now, if I could go back and tell like 13-year-old me what I end up doing 20 years later.
You get to be a grown-ass Mark.
But I get to do it in the ring. You know, like
with a Wikipedia guy.
Yeah, with the Wikipedia guy. You're gonna be the guy who's
gonna be a thing now.
Yeah. You get to meet a guy who's on MTV.
I'm gonna have to have a T-shirt now.
He was on MTV. He was a Wikipedia guy. So that part of me would be stoked. And the thing was, you know, whenever the time is done, whenever I'm out, are you looking up your fucking Wikipedia?
We should. He can do it whenever he wants. We can't do that. We can't do that.
Oh, you got Wikipedia mobile on?
Don't worry, when it's his turn, we won't look up ours because we don't fucking have one.
No, we'll give you our undivided attention.
But at 4 a.m. when pretty girls reach out to you, you respond.
Oh, good.
But you continue.
Anyway, but long story short,
save this interview while he's busy.
It's fun because like I still feel good after it's been 15 and a half years. I still feel good. I still feel optimistic about stuff. I feel motivated about what's going on. Things have been better for me as far as like opportunities and like making money in wrestling and like all that stuff. And I think these options are there, and I still want to do this and I'm able to do it. Mm-hmm. And so where my end game is, I don't know, because I've only wanted to have fun. I've only wanted to do that aspect. Yeah. And I'm really glad that I will, I'm not going to walk away from this and be like, I could have done anything fucking else in my life, but I wasted so much time for this thing that I thought was going to pan out. I never wanted to be that guy. Yeah. And that isn't going to happen. And that's one of the goals. And I just think, like, if we're at this stage, there could still be something else too. And maybe one of my options that I thought, like, the traditional answer that you give is no longer going to be the most, like, feasible or the happiest one. Because I think...
Which is what? What is the traditional, like...
it was always to go to TV. Like, you should always have that, like, the boyhood dream of WrestleMania. Like, you should be Shawn Michaels. I feel like anyone who's, like, our generation...
I am not a sexy boy.
No. I almost started breaking into the song. But, like, That was everything. Like, you were like, oh, I was that kid, and I should have that. But now, like, what a dude's WrestleMania is, or a dude's idea of success, because I think we've learned that when you try and fit into that hole, like, there are guys who have seemingly succeeded. Like, they have main evented, and they have done, you know, like, they've made $1 million. They've main evented a WrestleMania, and, you know, you battle. As sad as it is, you battle your inner demons or depression because you're not happy because that wasn't what was fulfilling to you. That wasn't your idea of success. It was somebody else's. So for me, like,
it was the projected
idea of
what
success.
success is.
And I think now we don't have that, like, black and white. This is a fail.
Bro, there was the right and wrong, the yes and no.
Yeah.
The okay, not okay, like, it's not even a blurred line anymore, like, it's a fucking dot. The options of what is good and bad are so, like I said, I hate this word, like, success is so subjective, especially today. I don't know when fans will see this, but it's what? August 5th? Or no, October 5th?
Holy
I had a
shit.
couple drinks. It's October 5th?
Fuck, I mean, like time.
You've been talking for a long time.
The whole calendar year.
Doc Brown, 1.21 gigawatts. Like,
Right.
yeah, no, but like it's October 5th. Like, today, wrestling and success is so much not. What you started in 2004?
2004.
Like, the idea of whatever quote unquote success was versus what it currently is. Like, man.
And I think it's different for everybody.
Of course.
Like, I think it's different. And, like, I think in this day and age, like, one of the biggest things you can do to find your success is find what makes you happy. And once you do that, because, like, what I want to do might be different than what somebody else wants to do. And, you know, I've seen guys who chase something, you know, like, we've had numerous guys that we know. It's not just one, but it would be like somebody who went the route that they were supposed to go. And we've had it described to us as, like, you know, they get that contract, they get that whatever, and they're like, it's like when you got to heaven and you found out there was no God.
Oh.
And that's, like, super intense. And then they go...
We talked about Trump, Cornette, and God in this interview. We're fucked.
Jesus, are you? And so, like, then they go into a different... They find something else that they didn't think that would be their happiness. And ultimately, that was what was fulfilling. You know, like, some dudes start off as wrestlers and they end up being producers. And that's their calling. They, you know, it's just, it's cool to see these options. And I guess that's what, to me, is the biggest thing. But as convoluted as it could be, my goal is I was like, I want to keep doing this for as long as it's fun. And I want to travel and see the world. And I will find whatever medium I need to do to keep getting to those places. Because I want to have events and moments that I can look back on. I'm like, that was cool. That's what kid me would want to see. Now adult kid me is doing it.
How about you, kid?
What?
What do you want out of wrestling? Other than people stopping shit on social media. I think you got that.
I mean, if you know who and what I am, I feel like I'm a little bit, in regard to the social media stuff, I feel like I'm pretty transparent. Like, I realize there's a lot of terrible fucking shit out there, and I'm certainly not telling you to bury your head in the sand and ignore it. But when I started wrestling, my thought was, it would be really cool to wrestle in Japan. It would be really cool to get paid to wrestle. Because, like, when you don't know, you don't know. So you have all these, like, weird aspirations, these weird goals. So, like, for me, when I started wrestling, I had, like, a small to-do list. And when I first started wrestling, my small to-do list was pay bills, wrestle in Japan, be on TV. And then, like, as those goals, while they were at this stage, I feel like they were accomplishable. As I was knocking those off, I was like, I need to make new goals.
like, I can't believe this early into wrestling, like, I'm paying bills already. Maybe I should have raised that goal to all my bills, not just pay bills. But, you know, I was... When I started wrestling, I skipped college. I passed on a partial athletic scholarship to play baseball. I was like, I don't want to fucking play baseball anymore. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to read books. I want to fake fight my friends in tights. My dad was very unhappy about it, but my mom was very supportive.
I broke my dad's heart too in college.
Like, all I wanted to do was wrestle. I wanted to pay bills, wrestle in Japan, be on TV. And like, I did all those things. So as I did those things, my goals changed, my wants changed, my needs changed. Fast forward to today, like, and I know this sounds so cliche, but I feel like wrestling has been really good to me. Like, there's like a literal multi-million-dollar company that pays me to have a good time.
And he's got his own Wikipedia page. Sorry,
I also have a Wikipedia page. Like,
Yeah, you're the modern day Dick Murdoch. But you don't go to KKK meetings.
that kind of weird.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. Dick Murdoch.
It doesn't say on here that you do.
My Wikipedia page doesn't say, it says nothing about KKK.
But no, Dick Murdoch. He was a Coors beer sponsor.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I
he
did
had
not
a
know
card where he could just go into a bar and buy Coors Light. So that's why everybody hung out with Dick Murdoch, because he'd be like, "I'll take 5 Coors Lights, please."
I did not know this.
Yes, and then finally Coors was like, "We can't have you do this. We are losing money on you being a Coors sponsor."
Especially when he went to the fucking clan meetings.
Yeah, but that's a Dusty Rhodes story. That might be exaggerated.
Give a round for my boy.
Dusty Rhodes was the one that said that story. So that
Okay, so when
but Dick Murdoch had a sponsorship with Coors. You have a sponsorship.
I
with
had no idea that was the thing.
Yeah, you didn't know that. You didn't know that you're the modern day version of Dick Murdoch.
Dick Murdoch is the old version of me.
Oh, just like CM Punk is the Chicago version of Jake Manning. So.
Corbin wants me to know that my Wikipedia page heavily lists.
Well, you can't look at his. You gotta look at yours.
I'm living through you.
Wait till your liver gives out. When I broke in, I had small goals, and as the years passed, I accomplished those goals, and I find myself today feeling very appreciative of the things that wrestling has given and afforded me, especially as it pertains to Minnesota. As I said earlier, like, I owe so much to Jerry Lynn, so much to Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Like, those dudes did and gave so much to us, those of us in Minnesota. What I want now is to be able to leave wrestling, specifically in Minnesota, in a better place than I found it. I know that sounds silly. I know that sounds almost cliche.
No,
but
I think you've done that. I think you've done that.
I would love to think that I've done that.
I would co-sign on that any day of the week.
Like, I would really like for Minnesota, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota, however you refer to that region, I would love to be a part of a cog in the wheel of restoring that being a place where professional wrestling is and was a big deal. Like, for me, right now, today, that is my, that's my focus.
I think you're doing a great job.
For me.
When people think of just even bring up Minnesota, I think you would mean that.
That's the really fucked up thing is Minnesota gets no press. There is no buzz. No matter how much
cool stuff or what kind of talent.
Listen, you guys signed Kirk Cousins. That's your fault.
That's not a wrestling thing.
I know.
Let me rephrase. In regard to professional wrestling,
Okay.
no matter how good the shows are, no matter how good the talent is, for some reason we are just beyond that, like, buzz.
That bubble. Yeah, it's because you're not Northeast, you're not
We're just
California.
outside of the bubble. We're like literally in the middle, Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bubble ends on our right and the bubble ends on our left, and we're like in this middle ground of like nothing.
Yeah.
But like, I realize how silly this sounds and how biased it is and what have you, but like, we are doing some really cool shit in Minneapolis right now.
Absolutely. I've
Like-
seen the pictures, I've seen what you do. I've been begging to be in that area for years. Even on the shitty shows.
Like-
Even the other ones where there's 30 people.
I don't know. I don't know how many independent shows regularly draw 1,000 people. I feel like the number is minuscule. But in Minneapolis, we do that 2 or 3 times a year. The show that we do that draws 1,000 people 2 or 3 times a year only happens 2 or 3 times a year. But it's just one of those things, like, we're out of the bubble, people don't even know it's a thing. People don't even know that it happens.
I should know, because it's fantastic.
I would love it if more people knew, but I'm also okay with people not knowing, because, like, as I said, like, I want Minneapolis, I want Minnesota, I want to do what I can to restore the integrity of professional wrestling at home. Because, like, everybody else is going to do their own thing at home, elsewhere, where they're at, what have you. I want to do what I can to restore it at home.
You're doing a fantastic job.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll drink to it after we shut this camera down.
Oh,
Maybe.
There's a couple
We're very much at the end. We've done well over 2 hours.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I had no worries. I had no doubt. I wasn't worried about it at all. But before we get out of here, let everybody know the socials and especially where they can find out about all of these fantastic shows.
Okay, hell yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do the promoting of the show because that works for you. But just Twitter, Instagram is my main. I do stuff on my YouTube channel. It's just if you type in Darin Corbin, it'll pop up. Darin Corbin TV is the thing. And then if you like what you see there, I have a Patreon account, just like almost everybody, but I'm not attractive enough to really get most of the pictures up there. So I mean, I do video content. So there's that. Was that a don't sell yourself short?
No.
Adorable. Anyway, so I do like video content.
You think
so.
you're ugly? I'm not gonna disagree.
I didn't say ugly. I just said not as attractive as the many. I can't be like, look at a picture of my booty hole.
Well, there's
I
one
can't do
A,
that.
he's
Yeah.
one B. That's what he was trying to
There
say.
we go. Yeah, not quite there, but I got the Patreon account. I do all that stuff, and I love to do like my own video stuff, and that's what I've been kind of trying to incorporate into my wrestling stuff as well. So that's a big thing, and that's just Darin Corbin on there too. No Wikipedia though.
See?
Can't do that.
Everything is at Arik Cannon. Yes, I spell my name funny. A-R-I-K. Cannon, like a gun. Bang, bang. And I also suggest, especially if you're in the Midwest area, that you check out First Wrestling. F1 RST Wrestling. All the social media is F1 RST Wrestling. Yeah. And if I can leave you on anything, even though social media is this pit, this cesspool of negativity and contradiction, just watch and enjoy pro wrestling. That's also just, it's a very cool thing to just enjoy what you enjoy and to love what you love.
Pro wrestling's the best.
Pro wrestling is my favorite flavor of pizza.
Well, hopefully this show has been your favorite flavor of pizza. I thank you guys so much for joining me for the first ever edition of the Fireside Chat with the Man Scout Jake Manning. I can't promise all of them are going to be this long or this cool, to be really quite honest. I can't.
I would definitely edit this down.
Oh no, I'm doing this whole thing. This is
Cool.
going to be the whole thing. Long rants, turn up the volume, especially when you were burying Cornette and calling him a charlatan. Because it's the High Spots way, and this has been available on the High Spots Wrestling Network, the best 99 in the business. Thank you so much for joining us for the first ever edition of the Fireside Chat.